Hey guys, Anthony here at AFT Dog Training. Guess we're going to continue our series on how to pick a dog trainer. Alright? Brutally honest on how all the tools work. The cool thing with AFT Dog Training, we would consider ourselves balanced dog trainers. What does balanced dog training mean? We have an arsenal of tools that we can use to help train the dog. Don't mind this. This is actually a picture that the volunteers at a shelter in Jersey put up of all the dogs' lives that we saved using these methods. So they sent it to us and I just hung it up. And I loved it. It made me actually tear up the day they sent that to me. So those dogs were all set to be euthanized. There's actually force-free trainers all over the area of where this shelter is. None of them come in to save any of the dogs' lives. We had to come in all the way out from Pennsylvania to come save dogs' lives. Kid you not. So, that's how much we give back to the community. Alright? But we'll get back onto the subject. So, you got balanced dog training. That's what AFT Dog Training is. If you own a dog, you are probably like, what do I do next? I'm going to try to show you in this video what the tools are, what they mean, so it helps you make a decision on what to do next. Alright? And what to do next would be, I'd appreciate if you contacted us at aftdogtraining.com, filled out a form, and let's get you started on getting your dog trained. So this here is a normal slip lead, right? Veterinarians use this all the time. Goes around the dog's neck, pulls tight. This way. Oh, pressure's off. I go this way. So, all right, just kidding. But this will choke air out of your dog until they move a certain direction. So you'll see this typically put on the dog at the vet's office because they might be a little bit out of control, and they have to bring them back out towards another room. They'll put this on this, and the dogs put on the brakes. If they do, they're using a lot of pressure and choking the dog, unfortunately. And unfortunately, we don't think about it a lot, but the veterinarian's office is typically the most aversive place a dog ever goes to it in their lifetime. They walk in the door, they're scared. All of a sudden, they may go up onto a placemat or thing that weighs them. And that's why it's good to start the conditioning of this stuff as a puppy, and we'll get into that. But that might be another video altogether. But then all of a sudden they're brought into this room, they're forced into this room, they have to pull them into the room. Then they have to sometimes grab the dog, put them up onto a table, and then as they're holding up their neck like this, dog's scared to hell death, they're taking these needles and forcing them into them. They have no idea what's going on. That is a slip lead. It is a tool that could be used for training by teaching pressure on. The pressure comes off as the dog comes near me, and I can give him a reward. So it could be used for a training tool. I don't typically use that for that. So, but this is your typical shelter slip leads too. This is a canine lifeline. This is kind of like a head halty, all right? It goes around the dog's snout. There's their head, all right? I'll actually switch it around for you here so you'll see it better. All right, so it's around their head, and then this clip is a backup that goes to their buckle collar. This actually is from one of my favorite trainers, Heather Beck. She's out in Utah. Follow her on Facebook. She designed this tool. It's a great tool. The tool, though, it's not meant for every dog. That's why we have an arsenal of our toolbox. The tool, though, sometimes doesn't fit for a particular dog. They don't like it. But the dogs that do like it, they love it. So what happens is you have to condition them to wear the tool. We're using a lot of positive reinforcement methods. Then it gets to a point where the dog might go like this to take it off. And that's the same thing with a gentle leader. But the only thing with a gentle leader is that clips like on the jawline here, and this connects to the leash. A lot of veterinarian chiropractors and veterinarians say that's one of the most dangerous dog walking tools is the gentle leader. That's because if it's not taught properly, you have whole control of the dog's head and it could cause severe pain. If the dog is trying to rip it off on the gentle leader at all with their claws, you're causing aversiveness. You may get that with the canine lifeline, the dog trying to rip it off. You know, the fight until they submit to it and finally give up and just wear the tool. And when they wear the tool, they rock wearing the tool. So that is the canine lifeline, and I'll throw in the gentle leader in there as well, because it's almost working on the same, but this pressure is actually from the back of the dog's head. That's why we use this tool. I actually don't even carry the gentle leader in here. Then we have your regular buckle collar. You may be walking your dog, right? And let's say this is your dog walking next to me. That's the way your dog should be walking next to you. This nice loose leash right next to you where my hand is. If your dog is not walking next to you on this buckle collar and is actually choking itself, running around, it is one of the most dangerous collars, again, to put on your dog, because there is no pressure off or on pressure. So what happens is the dog, according to most veterinary chiropractors and veterinarians, they'll see a lot of trachea issues or injuries because the pressure is never off or on, and the dog keeps choking itself until they cause the injury. Then you have martingale collars. Martingale collars retract. So this is a fabric with a chain retraction. So pressure's on, the dog's away, dog comes near me, pressure's off, they get a treat. Certain dogs where we pair the remote collar, and I'll talk about the remote collar in a second, with the martingale collar. This is a Joel Silverman collar, but of course it comes in a larger size. I like using this for long line exercises too, but it pretty much works as a martingale slip lead. Pretty big, bad wolf in the room, the prong collar. Many people are so like, oh, I can't stand the look of that thing. This here gets called the prong collar or a pinch collar. It never causes any pinching to your dog at all. It's called a pinch collar because you got to pinch the prong collar to get it on and off. Okay. When I wear it, like people will say, put it on yourself. There's no pain whatsoever with me doing this in any direction, okay? But the goal is for you to teach the dog how to use this tool. And this is why this tool is the safest, according to the veterinarians and veterinarian chiropractors, the safest walking tool for your dog. This causes less pain and discomfort than a harness, okay? And I'm going to get into that why. Harnesses, which I don't have here, you got no pull harness, which clips in the front, and the goal is it's going to pinch your dog's shoulder blades, neck, and spine, and back together until your dog stops pulling. That's why it's called the no pull harness. So pinch, pinch, pinch. The dog, as that's happening, is seeing dogs walking around outside. They want to get to that dog. Their pain, severe pain, and severe discomfort is given to the dog as they're looking at that person, as they're looking at that dog across the street. And now we got a leash reactive dog on our hands caused by the no pull harness. All right, I can't tell you how many times that type of case comes in here on a daily basis. So if it's not a no pull harness, you got the harness that clips on the back of the dog behind the shoulder blades, and they're pulling this way and they're pulling that way. I want you to imagine me taking this leash here and trying to walk with the leash around my legs. That's what's similar to what a harness does on the dog. It causes them to move in such weird ways because they're pulling from every direction that according to the veterinarians and veterinary chiropractors, more dogs are needing ACL surgeries. They're seeing spine, back problem, neck problems because the dog is pulling from whatever direction. They never taught the dog to walk nicely in the heel. So if the dog is way out here, dragging you down the street, let's say the dog is attached there, dragging you down the street, pulling, it's not the correct way to weight pull. And the dog is causing massive discomfort and harm and injury to themselves. And unfortunately, you're allowing it to happen. Now, you may have seen a force-free trainer. So this is what distinguishes us from a balance. So balance side, we figure out what tool works best for the dog, and we train that dog to walk with that tool. That sounds pretty fantastic, right? It saved all these dogs' lives. And over here on this side, I have a whole wall filled with dogs' lives that we saved using these tools here. And then the remote collar. That's the one. The harnesses cause more discomfort and pain than the remote collar. That is absolutely true. When this is used correctly, the way that you're supposed to use it, it causes less pain and discomfort than any harness. I repeated myself 3 times there. A harness causes more pain and discomfort than the remote collar. So, this is an arsenal, and we still have other tools that we can use. We can use a doggy dome, a pet corrector a pet corrector makes a spray, shoots air into the air. The doggy dome makes a clicking noise. We have some sonic tools that we use. So there's all types of different tools in our toolbox. Where a force-free trainer it's actually what I would call a lie, because if there's any tension whatsoever on the leash at any point during the training, they already used force. If there's any tension on this leash whatsoever on a buckle collar or harness, they already used force. It might even be in the first day of class. They already broke their force-free term. So they lied to you walking into the door right there. So that's why we're very open with the tools as being a balanced dog trainer. We don't lie to you, we're brutally honest, we show you every tool that we use. These tools here have been used for decades. Our police officers use prong collars, choke collars. Our police officers use remote collars. Our TSA dogs at the airport uses remote collars. Our TSA officers also use pretty much prong collars, choke collars. A lot of these tools up here, or the police, they are open just like us with the tools. So when you're talking about a force-free liar, a force-free trainer, sorry, I said liar, but they're lying about being force-free, because if they use any tension, there's force. Kids have a hard time making their own decisions, all right? So they need a leader to guide them to make their decisions. That's where we come in, the owners, all right? So when you're picking out a dog trainer, look for one that has an arsenal of tools. They know what they're talking about with the tools. For me personally, I grew up in a household, 16 dogs. I have 6 dogs of my own right now. My dogs are tattooed on my body. If I took off my clothes, I don't want to do that here, they're tattooed all over. I love my dogs. So no one's going to tell me, ooh, I don't love my dog because I put this prong collar on. That's a bunch of BS. I love my dogs. They're tattooed on my body. So you're not going to tell me I don't love my dogs because I use a prong collar. So I'm trying to get the information out there in the shortest video possible without getting real technical with the rest of the tools here. All right? But for me, I would look for an arsenal of tool dog trainer. Look for somebody that has credibility, has videos showing their work on YouTube everywhere. Nowadays, it's so easy. I can hit record. This is sitting on a tripod right now. I'm doing this video myself. So it's so easy to make videos. If they don't have any videos, stay away. Also, if you walk into a group class and you see people hiding behind shower curtains, walk out of that class. You are going to be, if you have a dog that's barking or acting up, you're going to find yourself standing behind that shower curtain until about class 3, and you're saying, what the hell am I doing here? Get out of there. All right? In our classes, we address that barking that first day. We don't sit there and let the dog bark that whole time. I, unfortunately, have had to take down my review page because the force-free trainers, too, are the most toxic people in the world that you'll meet. They harass you without even knowing you. So I, for one, never go on anybody else's training pages and leave any type of reviews unless they have been cyberbullying me, especially locally. But I typically never go on anybody else's pages, do any of that. They will go on people's pages and just cyberbully the hell out of you. So I removed my reviews because I was being cyberbullied so much for saving these dogs' lives. Right here. So for me going into the shelter for free and paying my trainers, doing that all for free from my end, they decided to cyberbully me. So look for trainers too. If you see that the trainer is out cyberbullying people like this, think about how toxic their mind is. Stay away from that type of person. All right. Look at if the person's giving back to the community. You know, I'm a board member and treasurer over at one of the largest animal shelters in eastern PA. I give back to the community all the time. I've been there since 2012. We do a lot of rescue and shelter work. All 6 of my dogs have been adopted. So look for that too, especially if you're heavily into adopted or rescue. A lot of force-free trainers, they'll breed their own dogs and work with dogs that have been bred to do great things. Well, let's see you train and own a dog that doesn't do great things, you know? So not all of us are LeBron James. So I'm hoping this video finds you well. I just wanted to make it and distinguish between continue this series on helping you select a dog trainer